Hey, Howard Jacobson here, and I want to go over the 9 steps to marketing anything, any business. And if you could condense my entire career down to these bullet points, I think you'd have it covered. So let's start right away. The top one, matrix the competition. And this is based on the Google search results page, which has all of your competitors right there in one place. When I realized that that's what Google was, it wasn't just a place for me as a searcher to go find things, but as a place for me as an advertiser to see everybody, the whole market, and putting their best foot forward and tussling and trying to get their message across, I realized that this represents maybe millions of dollars in market research that any of us could use to get smarter. So the first thing is we use the matrix, which is a tool that I developed, to just see what's going on, to see who's advertising, what they're saying, what the pitch is, what the features, what the benefits, what's their voice, what's their unique selling proposition or their big difference. And once we see that, we can see what my friend Ken McCarthy calls the holes and bumps in the road. Where are there gaps? Where are there underserved populations? Where are things not as good as they could be? And that gives everyone that I work with on this process a feeling of confidence. Like, gee, I can compete here. I have something to offer. Just to compete isn't just like boom, boom, let's punch each other in the face until one of us falls down. Competition comes from the Latin words competere, to strive together. We and our competitors actually can make each other better, make each other stronger, and so to look at a competitive field actually allows each of us to say, where do I fit here in the most powerful way possible for me? It's not about beating them, it's about using them to find our own niche, our own place in this marketplace where we can be of ultimate value. So that's step 1, matrix the competition. Step 2, meet your avatar. And so those of you who know my work know that I'm really big on the avatar process, which is taking your ideal customer, your sort of, 30 to 45-year-old male who lives in a Midwestern city, whatever, the details are, that's a big diffuse concept. That's not a person. The avatar is a fictional character that you create out of an aggregate. It's sort of the bullseye of your ideal customer. This is the person that I want to sell to. And without the avatar, we're writing lukewarm sales copy. But when we're writing to one person whom we know intimately and care about deeply, our sales copy takes on a whole new dimension. So the second thing after we've matrixed our competition is to get to know our avatar really well. Third thing is to discover our avatar search triggers. So we know our avatar generally, but we don't necessarily know what made them want to search for us right now. What happened? Did they read an article? Did a friend tell them some bad news? Did they get a bill in the mail? What happened right then and there that made them say, I've got to solve this problem? Because once we know that, we know the avatar and we know the context of their mind, we can start creating headlines, landing page headlines, email headlines that speak to them right where they are, so that they immediately say, this is someone who has something to say to me that I want to pay attention to. Next level is uncovering objections. So, and the way I want you to think about objections is not things that we have to beat down or overcome or overpower people with or wish we didn't have to hear. Objections are really reminders of their past. They see us, they see our business, and they have an experience in their past, either they've personally experienced or someone has told them about and it's made an impression. We remind them of something bad that happened in the past. Maybe they got cheated. Maybe they bought something and didn't end up using it. Maybe they bought it and tried it and found it too hard. Maybe it wasn't the right thing. Maybe they took it home and their spouse laughed at them and said, this is a stupid thing to buy. And all of those things, all of those old hurts, those old fears, those old doubts are still inside them, and various ones get triggered by what we remind them of. Objections have nothing to do with us, with our business. They have everything to do with what they're projecting onto us from their past. So we can't just say, no, don't give me objections or let me talk over them. We want to exquisitely hear them and understand them and help draw out objections that they may not even know they have. The next step, of course, is to answer those objections. Some of the objections we say, you're right, we're not a good fit. We send them to someone else. Saves a lot of time and agony. But a lot of other ones, the objection is no longer relevant, or it's not relevant in this case. And there we use success stories or testimonials that we help our clients, our happy customers, craft in such a way that they respond to those objections. And that really becomes the entire body of our sales copy. When someone's looking for something, when they want to find a solution, they're not rooting for us to fail, they're rooting for us to succeed. All we have to do is clear away the obstacles in their mind, and they're ready to buy. Number 6, this whole process of avatar work, of discovering the search triggers, what happens when you start doing that, you come up with a huge number of different angles, of different pitches, of different ads, and you may not be sure at first which ones will be most effective. So you can do testing. The internet is a great testing engine, specifically Google AdWords, a beautiful place to test. But testing is expensive. And by that I don't mean you have to pay for it, it's free. But when you're testing something, it's expensive to try out new things that may not work. There's an opportunity cost of putting up a new ad that may not work as well as your existing ad. So I'm going to teach you, we want to learn how to become hyper efficient at our testing, to do it in such a way that it really, really makes sense. You take all your ads, all your pitches, and you create categories for them, and you test certain categories first and others later and later. Next, you want to master the process, and the more you do it and the more you understand it, the more you can streamline it and get to an 80-20 where you don't have to go through all of these steps every single time, or you don't have to do them in such great detail. There may be times when you just want to do a 20-minute process, and you can learn how to do most of this stuff in a very, very short time. Now, after that, you want to sculpt your organic USP, your organic unique selling proposition. Now, a lot of people would say, wait a minute, shouldn't that be the first thing you do right up here before you even talk about your competition and your prospect? Don't you want to know who you are? I used to think that, but now I find that this whole process gives you a better way of thinking about who your market is, who your competition is, and all that allows you to step into your own strength, who you are. Very often we're told you need a USP, you need a unique selling proposition. And so we're going to sit down and we're going to bolt one on like, Frankenstein's neck. And it may not have anything to do with you, but you feel like you got to come up with this heroic effort to say, well, I'm the only one who does this. And it's not real, it's not organic. By organic, I mean something that comes out of your own strengths, your own passions, your own differences, and that meets your prospect's deepest needs. So only by doing this whole work will you come upon naturally a powerful, unique selling proposition. The next thing that happens is once you have your unique selling proposition, you can embark on a journey of visionary improvement. Once you know what your DNA is, then you're no longer limited by a particular technology or a particular product line. You then understand how you help, how you serve, and that can open things up. So you can still be very, very focused in what Jim Collins calls the hedgehog concept of the one thing you do really well. But if the one thing I do really well is AdWords, then all I'm ever doing is AdWords. But on the other hand, if the one thing I do really well is help businesses connect deeply with their own strengths and passions and the desires of their marketplace, then I can go in hundreds of different directions but stay very focused all the while. So this is the 9-step process to become a master empathetic marketer in your market. And the reason I'm bringing this up right now is not just to show it to you, not just to teach it to you, but also to invite you to join me and participate in the Camp Checkmate home study course. First time I'm ever producing a home study course based on the Camp Checkmate material. And Camp Checkmate is, in fact, these 9 modules. I just finished last night the 9th module doing a live course where people would read a material at 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then we would have a tumbler, a session where we would tussle and I would demonstrate each of these with different people on the course. And so it's not just theory. This is not like me standing up there and saying, oh, this works every time, and then you get home and you try it and you go, oh, I don't quite get it. We struggled. There were a lot of times when it felt like we were really hitting a brick wall, but every single time we got through this messy process, and someone was able to then discover the search triggers, write headlines, uncover hidden objections. Each of these things, you'll see them in the real world. Many of them we did, there'll be two different examples, an afternoon and an evening. So you'll see two completely different dynamics of applying this process. So as I said, the class ended yesterday. The last audios are in the can, and today I'm promoting it as a home study course. So you don't have to show up at 1 o'clock or 8 o'clock on Tuesdays. You can do this at your own time, at your own leisure. On this page, just below me, you'll see the whole thing laid out, a sales letter. Comments are live. So if you have a question, if there's something I didn't answer clearly enough or sufficiently enough or I haven't thought of, please post a question as a comment and I'll answer it. Now, you'll notice that there's a block a little below that just says testimonials, and there aren't the testimonials from this particular course there. That's because I don't have them yet. Course ended yesterday. I don't want to ask people, you know, just as the course ended, how was it? Because that's not really meaningful. People are on a high. It really ended, you know, strongly. But I want to wait a little bit and get testimonials after a couple of weeks when people have really had a chance to look at the whole program and to start applying it and to see what results they're getting. Those are meaningful testimonials, not just, hey, it was fun, I really liked it, Howie's a great guy. So while I'm waiting for those, the class is going to be much less expensive than it will become. So right now you can save literally hundreds of dollars if you go and sign up right now. And you go scroll down to the bottom, there's two options, a single pay, saves you about 40 bucks, and then there is a 3 pay, if that's more convenient for you, over 3 months. Now, just because there aren't testimonials, now there are other testimonials down there of other times I've done Camp Checkmate material, but not for this particular run that I'm inviting you to join right now to purchase and go through at your leisure. But because of those, there aren't testimonials, you might think it's a little bit more of a risk. But in fact, there's no risk because I have a 100% satisfaction guaranteed, money back guarantee on every product I sell. It's just bad karma, I think, to have money from people who don't want you to have it. So you go through it, and that's totally at your discretion. You go through the program, you say, this isn't for me, let me know, you get your money back. Questions asked, because I will ask you about what could have been better, what would have been more helpful, what didn't work out. You don't have to answer them, I'm just going to ask them in an email, but you will get a no-hassle refund if you discover this isn't for you. So I invite you to read the sales letter. You can look on the side of the page, this side, right? On the side down there, there's some free material for you to look at. And I really invite you to take this journey with me. This really is the journey from struggle to, dare I say, abundance and fun. You'll start seeing at the testimonials come in how meaningful this has been for the participants to get clarity about what their business really is, about what their prospects really, really want, and to discover simple and easy and conversational ways to share that. So again, read the letter, scroll down to the bottom. I would be honored if you would join. It's not going to be as interactive, obviously, as the live sessions, but it's still interactive via the comments. You've got questions, you post them in the comments on any page, and I will respond. So that's it for me. Have a great day, and I hope to see you on the other side. Take care.